Hello and welcome to a very special midweek episode of the Tampa Bay Arts Passport podcast. My name is Avery Anderson. Today we have a fantastic conversation that will probably make you a little hungry. We are talking with the executive director of the Tampa Bay Collard Green Festival, Samantha Harris. This conversation I think is just wonderful. This year, the Collard Green Festival has taken over event planning for the St. Pete MLK Day Parade. So we talk about that, which is coming up on Monday if you're listening to this in time. If not, you can regret that decision later. We also talk about their 5K run and the Collard Green Festival entering into its 9th year and all the things that go along with that, as well as how all of these events are really tied to community. This is not some outside influencers coming in creating events. This is created by local St. Pete folks really working to connect one another in the community, which is what we're all about here at the Arts Passport. So I think this conversation is going to be lovely. Maybe go bake some collard greens. We can't really do that quickly, but maybe think about baking collard greens, start baking collard greens during this episode so that by the time it's done, you can enjoy a nice little meal. All right, enjoy. Hello, Samantha. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, and you're taking time out of your very busy life and schedule to talk about all things Collard Green Festival, MLK Day Parade, 45 Days of Excellence, while we're in the 45 Days of Excellence.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you're like running around doing all the things, but you're talking to us today, so I appreciate that.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Let's just start very big picture.
Okay.
What are the 45 Days of Excellence? Because I think this is a newer thing for the city, and so maybe not everyone totally knows about it.
Absolutely. So when we were approached with the opportunity of possibly partnering with the city to do their event planning for the St. Pete, what is now the St. Pete MLK Parade, we had to come there with a plan because we know that other folks were applying for this opportunity, right? So we were looking for something that kind of took our application over the top. And so we reverse engineered it, if you will. We had already had the Tampa Bay Collard Green Festival. We had just finished our 8th year. We had finished our very first I Heart Greens 5K and Fitness Extravaganza. And we already had our fundraiser Collards After Dark. So we said, well, what can we do to kind of encapsulate, rather put an umbrella over all of the events? And that's where the 45 Days of Excellence came through. First of all, this St. Pete MLK Parade has been around, I believe this is its 39th year. You know, so there's rich history, there's rich legacy of Dr. MLK himself, and also what it means to the city here. As a native, I recall coming to the MLK Parade every year of my life. You know, it was just something that we did.
Yeah.
You know, it's besides it being a national holiday, it just always represented a measure of hope, you know, for those who were probably seen as underdogs. So when we submitted our application, we were like, hey, well, why don't we just highlight the many different things that all of us have contributed to not only the city, but to this nation as a people. So that's where the 45 Days of Excellence comes from. Yeah.
And I just am curious, walk me through, why is it 45 Days of Excellence?
Yes. So beginning with January 1, the 45th day is the Tampa Bay Collard Green Festival. Right. So every year, as we know, it's not going to fall that way, but it's going to be still those 45 days, and the last day ending on the festival.
And this is something you hope to continue year after year. This is not just like a one-off.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's so many things that fall under that umbrella. So starting January 1, we highlight the St. Pete MLK Parade because it's first. Right. And then we have the other 3 events that I mentioned. But within that, we celebrate. We're going to start with community heroes, like folks who probably have not been celebrated recently, you know, for their achievements. Yeah. Blacks, African Americans, the different folks and our everyday heroes is what we call them. And we just want to highlight them. The city of St. Petersburg has also partnered with the 45 Days of Excellence to expand what was just the MLK grants. They service grants. I think it was like $1,500 to local nonprofits. Now that has expanded from just MLK Day through the 45 Days of Excellence. So we're going to highlight those. I believe there are 20 organizations that won that opportunity. So it's all of those things.
Yeah. Can we talk about for a minute the word excellence?
Yes.
Like, why did you choose to use that word to define this period? Out of everything you could have used to really, you know, hammer it home, but why excellence?
Excellent. That's a very good question. Okay, so just imagine um, being here and having barriers that were placed before you, layers of barriers. You know, once you get over one, please know that there are 100 more in front of you, and and you've already crossed 1,000. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it represents like an attitude that you have to have. I was going to say that you should have. No, you kind of have to have it in order to not only do things well, but to have the right attitude while doing these difficult things, and so yeah, that's where the word excellence comes from, because it's hard. Just speaking for myself, it's arduous, it's tiring. You want to sometimes you just want to just take a break and quit sometimes, but you can't.
Yeah.
Because there's work to do. So excellence just represent that can-do attitude, but doing it with a spirit of resilience and yeah, with a spirit of resilience.
I love that idea of tying excellence to resilience, because excellence does not mean it needs to be perfect. It needs to be exactly how someone in power would say it's good, but just showing up, fighting it over and over. I think
Over
it's
and over
beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we're recording this before the parade, Monday, January 19th.
Yes.
Walk me through what can folks expect from the parade this year?
Oh my gosh. So much. So first of all, we have 3 HBCU bands. So Tuskegee University will be joining us, Alabama A&M University will be joining us, and Talladega Community College. We also have 12 more additional bands that are high schools, middle schools that are coming from Georgia, that are coming from South Florida. On top of that, we're showcasing the Wendell Scott Foundation. You talk about excellence. Mr. Wendell Scott, if I'm not mistaken, was the very first African American to race at a NASCAR level and win.
Wow.
But back in the day, he could not. He was not. He was not celebrated. I was going to say he could not. He could have, but he wasn't celebrated. Right. We have to watch our words here. Yes, he was not celebrated. And as a matter of fact, they, even though he won the race, another individual got an opportunity to steal his thunder. Just because during that time it just was not. It was not a societal norm. So he fought those barriers, and so the Wendell Scott Foundation, the family will be in the parade, and they will be pulling through the original race car that he drove
That's
in.
so cool.
Yes.
I love that.
Absolutely. We have them. We have our city representatives. We have Grand Marshal. Let me see, Dr. Commissioner Renee Flowers is our Grand Marshal this year. From bands to entertainment. It's just going to be a fun time.
When you were putting all this together and really thinking about who do we honor, what bands are there, like how did you go about that process, and kind of what was the hope as you constructed this real cacophony and orchestra of people?
Absolutely. So we instituted the help of 2 specific individuals who had done this before with the previous organization. Keep in mind, we were handed this opportunity officially mid-August.
So 4 days ago.
Yes. In the grand scheme of things, yes. But we had a plan. We knew that we would have to do something or, find the resources that are going to help us come together and pull this off. Let me just say, the city of St. Petersburg, this is their parade, right? They have been fundamental and instrumental in us being able to pull this off. When I tell you we have met with at least a representative once a week, and then with the entire team. And when I say team, I mean 30 to 40 people every other week to pull this off. And then we have our St. Pete MLK team to pull this off. So with that type of support, with resources, sometimes we would talk at night, I've had business hours. It's whatever it took to get this parade up the street. Unfortunately, there were some staples of this event that we just weren't able to do just because of time, the Family Fun Day, Battle of the Bands, events like that. But please know, in 2027, the 40th year of what is now called the St. Pete MLK Parade. In years past, it was just called something different. I just want to share that moving forward, it was important that this parade has a name. And so from year to year, it's the theme that's going to change. So this year, the theme is the power of a dream.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so parade happens on Monday.
Yes.
Then we go to the 5K.
Yes.
So talk about that for a minute.
Oh my goodness. So it's a I Love Collard Greens 5K and Fitness Extravaganza. It's going to be held at the beautiful Lake Vista Recreation Center in St. Petersburg, Florida. Right now, Avery, we have over 325 confirmed participants.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
That's what we said.
Is that what you were expecting?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. And I'm going to give you why. All right. So, first of all, this race is held at a beautiful park in St. Pete. So it's not just a 5K and it's not just a 1 mile fun run. That park is filled with at least, I want to say 3 baseball fields. We have 2 basketball courts. We got 4 tennis courts and a skateboard park. And we're going to activate all those. Well, except for the baseball fields, we're going to activate all those spaces. We have, we'll have a skateboard clinic. We'll have a tennis clinic and we'll have a basketball clinic. So it's going to be held Sunday, February 1st, a Sunday. So that's where the no comes in.
Okay.
Because, generally speaking, Sunday can be seen as a family fun day.
Sure.
A lot of folks do what they do on Sundays. However, in the month of February, there are no more available Saturdays. And even if we wanted to have it at that park would have been used for parking for the other Saturday events. But this is a free 5K.
Okay.
And that's something that we endeavor to do for as long as possible to keep these events accessible to those who would benefit the greatest from it. So that we're so excited.
And this also ties back into, we were talking months ago about the mission of Collard Green Festival around healthy initiatives and building a healthy community. And this ties in with that as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
And now, to be clear, is this like I'm going to run the 5K or can I happily walk the 5K as well?
You can skip. You can walk it backwards.
Whatever way you want to show up and participate.
Exactly.
Okay. And can folks still register for it, or is there a cutoff date?
You can still register for the I Love Collard Greens 5K and Fitness Extravaganza. We have not taken it down yet, but we feel that as we approach, we're probably going to hit that 500 number.
Okay.
And then it's like at that point, okay, we might.
And then you're going to be.
Yeah.
Then you can wait for next year and train for the 5K.
Exactly, like me.
Okay, so 5K, and then to end the 45 Days of Excellence, the Collard Green Festival.
Yes.
So this is year 9?
This is year 9.
So walk us through, maybe for someone that has never been to the Collard Green Festival before, what can they expect? It's on Valentine's Day this year.
Yeah. So when we were wrapping up the festival for last year, we're looking ahead and we're like, wait a minute, this is going to fall on Valentine's Day. How is that going to work? However, the festival has always been the weekend leading into President's Day. So it just, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
It's been pretty much every number. It's been on the 15th, on the 16th, 17th, 19th. And so this year it's on the 14th. So for those who are attending this event for the first time, let me tell you, I like to say it's like a big old community reunion. Yeah, I'm telling you, like you see some of everybody from every walk of life, young, black, straight, gay, pets. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we want everyone, again, who wants to, first of all, come out and see what it's about. I get questions all the time. What are we going to do? Eat collard greens all day? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're gonna eat. Yes. However, exactly. The festival is grounded on 3 initiatives. First, it's about food source. Let's really have the conversation and get these professionals out here so that you can understand more about food source. Where are our foods coming from? It's no secret that our food systems are, for lack of a better word, poisoned. And so we really need to become more conscious about what we can do as a community to at least give ourselves an opportunity to live a more productive and healthier life and have more control over that. The second one is food preparation. In certain communities, okay, so it's okay to fry your food sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time,
Not every day.
Not every day. That's not sustainable.
Right.
That's not the healthiest way. We cook our greens in an electric in an Instapot. And I'm telling you, ever since I was shown that way to cook greens, although let me say, out the gate, I was like, we're going to do what? With what?
Not the way God intended it to happen.
Exactly. No, this is supposed to take 2.5 business days on the stove. What are we talking about? These are going to take 18 minutes to cook, and they taste like grandma's greens. You get what I'm saying? So let's talk about the different ways that we can prepare our foods in general. Let's roast them. Let's bake them. Let's grill them. Let's figure out other ways to enjoy the foods that we love. And then that third arm, when you come out to the festival, you're going to work out for free. You know, we have our collaborating partner, Natasha Walker with New Body Fitness, who has been with us for many years. She always puts on a great show. She brings other, what do you call those? Workout people. I'm sorry, for lack of a better word, I cannot think of the word.
Other trainers.
Yes. I'm sorry, it just left me.
You're asking the wrong person about workout things,
me
but
too.
I know what a trainer is.
So she brings other trainers. You got Zumba. We have all types of fitness for I didn't realize that there needs to be a specific trainer for those who might be a bit seasoned. You get what I'm saying? Like their needs are different.
Yeah.
And then we have folks who train kids, you know, so their workout is different too.
Yes. Very different.
Okay, you just wind them up and go, you know.
You're just helping them not hit the wall too hard.
Exactly. So we have all those things. We have the free collard green giveaway. Oh, this year, oh my gosh, in the Family Fun Zone, we're going to bring, this has been something we've wanted to do for years, a petting zoo and pony rides. Come on, get out of here.
No way.
Yes, free. It is
gosh.
just, again, it is just so important that we find ways to create events like these that are accessible. And then we're going to have vendors. So yes, there's certain aspects you will pay for, but then there's certain aspects you can literally bring your family there to the event and have a great day. We also have our annual cook-off contest, which is fully sponsored now by our long-term collaborating partner, the Woodson Museum, the Woodson African American Museum of Florida. So it's so much to look forward to. Live music and entertainment.
There's so many
There's
things.
so many things. Like we could sit here and talk about the festival, like what happens there for the rest of this interview. But we also have Grammy Award winner, because she writes songs for other individuals, so she won her Grammy that way. But we have Seven Streeter, who will be our live entertainment at the festival. So it's so much to look forward to.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think what I really love about the Collard Green Festival, and if you're new and don't really know what it is, this was built in St. Pete. This was not some outside corporation. Like, this is rooted in community so intentionally.
Yes.
And I love the story of how you all started and starting in the church. And so walk me through a little bit, like, for, Cliff Note version of where did the Collard Green Festival even come from?
There was a fundraiser at church back in 2015. Boyzell, my co-founder partner, Boyzell, Hosey, and I were on a team, and we needed to get a group of kids to a trip in Columbus, Ohio, a church trip. And so he was the one who said, in the meanwhile of them already raising funds, he was the one that said, hey, so my wife Andrea ordered this Instapot, and we made greens in this Instapot, and you just got to try them. And I'm like, absolutely not. What are we talking about? Again, this is blasphemous. What are we doing? And so I came over and I tried them, and I said, oh my goodness, these are almost as good as my Auntie Pinky's greens. Like to me, the standard is Aunt Pinky, her greens. But I said, oh my gosh. So we asked our pastor, hey, do you mind if we incorporate cooking greens at the church? And here's why though. Boyzell's wife doesn't eat pork. But then we had already had previous conversations, and Boyzell and I knew that we preferred to prepare our greens with either smoked turkey wings or with no meat. So those were the greens that we were cooking. We attend a predominantly African-American Black church, and the pastor was like, yeah, as long as I get my greens, I don't care what you do. That's pretty much how that conversation went. Thank you, Bishop. Needless to say, not only was it a hit, these kids were able to make their trip to the church convention. In Columbus, Ohio, they flew Southwest. They planned an extra day to go to an amusement park. They were able to enjoy all the things. I wasn't able to go on that trip because I was working and I couldn't take the time off. However, they came back. It was a great celebration, and we kept cooking those greens, right? We kept cooking them. So one day we sat down and was like, well, what can we do to get this outside of the church walls? I mean, it's obviously working. You have folks who are putting in their order before getting a word, picking up their greens and taking them home, you know? And so what's funny is we were wanting to sell the greens at the MLK parade, but logistically we both were like, oh, that's not going to work. Then we thought about it. We were like, well, you know, what about a festival? I mean, there's a strawberry fest, there's a rib fest, there's so many fests, especially now.
Right.
And so when I tell people, when people laugh at this name, I say, no one has laughed harder than Boiselle and I when we were trying to figure out a name for this event, because we were going to name it the St. Petersburg Collard Green Festival. But then again, inclusivity is everything. So, we didn't, well, what about Tampa? Well, what about, Pinellas Park? What about Kansas City? So we just said the Tampa Bay Collard Green Festival, and we had that first event. And I'll just talk for myself. I was on pins and needles. I was like, now who is going to show up to this event? And when I tell you, 1,000 people showed up. Wow. We were just right on 9th Avenue, green space, 9th Avenue, the Woodson Museum, and we were in the back. And now this festival we still have those spaces. We have gone up to 22nd Street. You make a left under the overpass. And now, to your point, it was very intentional, starting collaborating with at that time it was the Dr. Carter G. Woodson African American Museum, with chefs who are representative of the communities that have the worst disparities, health disparities, so that we can learn, we can see that it's possible, but learn other techniques, other professional techniques. Yeah. And then having it where it's held on the historic Deuces Corridor, where back in the day, this was the only place where Black and African American entertainers could come and feel safe, in this city. And so, that's the very brief history. I hope I was brief enough.
And I think this is what nonprofits do best in community, right? Is when they're rooted in community. So to go from selling collard greens in the church to now organizing the St. Pete MLK Day Parade, like just what a fantastic through line and anchored in our city and our community so intentionally the whole time is amazing.
Thank you.
There's also one thing we didn't talk about yet as we start to wrap up, the entrepreneurial program for the youth program. And I think that also, there's just so many things y'all do that I'm like, oh, we have to talk about this because it's so good. So let's briefly talk about that for a moment, because I know that's a big part of your mission as well. It
really is. So with all of that foot traffic, right? And with me personally being having a daughter who's she goes to Gibbs High School, but they have a beta program there, a business entrepreneur program that these kids literally create, build businesses, and they compete. They do pitch competitions, and they compete. And so bringing all that together, it's like, well, if anyone should benefit from this foot traffic, it's the youth. It's those with the mind to think outside the box, who have the creativity and the wherewithal and that spirit. Let's go back to that spirit of excellence. Come on, with so many things that these kids could be doing and that are readily available, that they prefer to work for themselves, and I say this a lot. Like, these kids, I call them new kids. These new kids, they are not going to be on anybody's job for 30, 40 years. Yeah. They're not going to do that. Yeah. So why don't we, as a community, help to empower them to get that experience now? So our program, we've renamed it Next Gen Biz Builders. It's sponsored in part by the Foundation for a Healthy St. Pete. So if you know of a kid, at this point they have to have a business, but we're going to do a training program to get them ready. But it's a 6-week program. It actually starts this week, and no, it's not too late to sign up. You just go to tbcgf.org. You click the link that says Next Gen Biz Builders, and here's what comes with it. So they have a 6 weeks course that prepares them to specifically then at the event. So we talk about business structure, we talk about financial literacy, we talk about marketing, we talk about how to present yourself, and every week they're going to see someone from this community that looks like them, that will talk about the challenges that they faced, and to encourage them along the way. And about midway, they get a $250 stipend, so that if they need marketing material, if they need marketing inventory, things of that nature, they'll have those funds to decide how they want to spend it. And then on the 6th week of the program, your final, if you will, your final exam is to then at the Tampa Bay Collard Green Festival. And I'll tell you, it was our first year in 2025, and we had 3 of the businesses, they sold out.
Wow.
They sold out before the festival. And so they were like, well, can we go and enjoy that? Sure. Why, they're kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go enjoy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes.
I want to ask before we totally wrap up, just because you're doing so many amazing things.
Thank you.
So many things that really make an impact in the community, really rooted in the community. That's a lot for one person and one organization to hold. So how do you care for yourself through
Oh
all
my
of
gosh.
this?
What a lovely question. So let me just say, Avery, it takes a team. It takes a team to do all of this. So shout out to the TBCGF team. One thing about our team is I tell everybody who chooses to come back and work with us year after year, I said, listen, let's work out the kinks. Let's figure out what worked, how we can improve. But just know, you're going to have to run away. You're going to have to say, Sam, Boiselle, I want to move on to greener pastures for us to let you go. Because when I tell you the best team, hands down, and even with our expanded team with the with the St. Pete MLK Parade, they're like, hey, what can we do with the festival? And we're like, hey, there's plenty to do. So the planning committee alone is about 20 people, but for myself, I've learned, especially after being awarded this opportunity to event plan for the St. Pete MLK Parade, I was like, okay, so for me, I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. Thursdays and Fridays are my day. So I decide what I want to do on Thursdays and Fridays. And of course, the weekend, that was already my time, so I just work Monday through Wednesday. That's the first line of defense. Now, after we come out of this season, I'm going to need an assistant. Definitely going to need an assistant. But outside of that, I did not realize the opportunity and the service, the spirit of service, the spirit of excellence that doing something, taking on an initiative like this would require. Again, it's to us, it's not a choice. It is absolutely required. In order, customer service relationships, that's your currency.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
when you treat people well, when you extend how you want to be treated to others, everybody grows.
Yep.
So
I think especially now when everyone is looking for community in so many ways, and when you show up the way you want to be received, people will show up the way
absolutely.
back too. The move for 2026, I need personal boundaries,
Yes,
and good organizational infrastructure.
Yes.
I want to ask, for folks listening, for folks that see this on social media, how can they embody the spirit of the 45 Days of Excellence? If you can't make it to the parade, if you can't, but just how can someone in their everyday life support the mission and support that spirit that you're instilling in us?
Such a powerful question, because it really starts it's so true that saying, change begins with you, whether someone sees it or not. And that's what we can do. We can be the best version. We can, every day, we can be a better version of who we were yesterday. And that doesn't mean, Avery, that we're not going to face challenges and we're not going to get upset and we're not going to be angry, going to throw stuff across the room. That's okay. But we just have to pick the environment in which to do that. Especially in this world of social media, just understanding that there are consequences to behavior.
Yeah.
Good and bad. So that spirit of excellence just means that doing whatever it is that we were put here to do, because we all have a purpose, right? And just being the best versions of ourselves, so that when we interact with others, we have no idea of what the next person is going through. We don't know how close they are to doing this or that.
So true.
So a smile, saying hello, like it's so simple.
So simple.
You don't have to start a nonprofit organization. You
can smile today.
You can just smile and say hello. Like the other day, I was hanging out with my homegirl. I'll make this super quick, and she said she pulled up in a drive-through, and so the person in front of her paid her order. It's just small gestures. Hold the door open. Just something. We all are able to do something.
Yes. And just take that moment to like slow down and just be intentional with someone else.
Absolutely. And it's so funny how that stuff turns back around.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So 2 quick rapid fire questions to wrap this up.
I'm ready.
So
I think.
That's why it's rapid fire. You don't have to think that hard.
Okay.
What is your hope for the Tampa Bay community?
Oh man. Beautiful question. That we, especially with all the things that are just going on regionally, nationally, internationally, my hope for the Tampa Bay community is just, I tend to hear this from folks who are not from here, and their observation of us as a community is just that. Like, we are a community. Like, it's heavily supported in this area. Like, we support each other. We show up. Sure, there might be things in the background, but from the outside looking in, just continue to do the work. Let's just continue to do what we were designed and purposed to do, and just do our best jobs. And that will spill over.
100%.
Yeah, that's my hope.
Okay, and then last question. As we we're already into, as we continue down the road of 2026, what is something you're looking forward to, or your kind of dream or hope for the year?
I wanted to say something funny. I will. I'm looking forward to late February.
To sleeping.
Yeah, just a little sleep.
To like not having 17,000 emails.
Oh my gosh, looking forward to that. But but for 2026, I too, as odd as this might sound, Avery, just doing some self-inventory here, there are some things that I have not done that I was supposed to do before the festival. And my hope for 2026 is that I sit myself down and I do those things.
I love it.
Yes.
Because you give so much to the festival, but you also have to give to yourself as well.
You're right about it.
Because if not, you can't feed back into the festival.
No, and that's what I now. It's clear as day. It's like this. All right, 2026. You have to get it, and you know what? It's not, and it's basically already done. You know, I just have to sit down and it's my book. I'm a publisher and author, and there's a book that I actually put out in 2018. I'm sorry. I did not put that book out in 2028, guys.
You're living faster and ahead of the rest of us.
You got to catch up. I put it out in 2018, and I immediately took it off the market because I can be a procrastinator. But I got the book done. Me putting it out was getting it done.
Yeah.
But I knew there was more work to do within the book. So we're talking since 2018. So yeah, I'm just really excited because it's going to be done.
Well, I'm sure we will have you back on to talk about the book that time. So please come out, go to the MLK Day Parade, sign up for the 5K if you still can, and then meet us all at the Collard Green Festival.
That's right.
And really just experience this time building community and interacting with the amazing things that the festival is doing here in the city.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today, and just care for yourself through all of this the next couple of weeks, please.
I sure will. Thank you.
This was truly a delicious conversation. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Samantha for taking the time out of her very busy life. We are literally, as of recording this, 7 days from the parade. So, she's very busy at the moment. So thank you to her for stopping by and recording. I hope you check out all of these events. I hope you support the Collard Green Festival. I also hope you, in the same way that Samantha and the team is building community intentionally, I hope that you are able to do that and take Samantha's advice of this 45 days of excellence does not mean you have to show up and change the world. Change starts small. So smile today, do a random act of kindness. Remember that people are going through things you do not see. That is all great advice she gave us. So thank you so much for supporting us. Please continue to like, follow, share, repost all of our content, sign up for our newsletter, and please check out some of our upcoming book clubs if you are interested. All right, have a great day.